Episode 234. We're here in Idleshire after Komoy mastered the art of summoning Bahamut, within herself anyway. Although she's not a summoner right now, so whose yellow carbuncle is this? It's not Peepee. Turns out there's just some kind of random yellow carbuncle that wanders around Idleshire, hard-coded into the game or something. Don't know who it belongs to, but apparently it's just here. Kind of a coincidence, because I always use the yellow carbuncle, which I call Peepee, whenever I play as Komoy, as summoner. Anyway, we're machinists now, because we're going to take on, again, the next tier of raids for Alexander. I kind of picked a not great time to start recording this. It's about 8 o'clock p.m. Eorzean time, meaning all the cutscenes that we have out here are going to be dark, but it probably doesn't matter. I imagine a number of them are going to be inside Alexander itself. That and I'm going to have to wait for the actual duty roulette, so it might even be daytime by the time we actually get to the rest of the episode, after the first raid tier, or round or whatever. The first boss battle, sure. Rearmed. Fishka, Roundrocks thinks long and hard on what to do with precious glowstone. It is most favoritist treasure of Roundrocks, but glowstone is also what Mide seeks all this time, and has already brought Roundrocks 3 whole years of joy. So Roundrocks decides to give it to Mide, so she can be happy too. For now, Roundrocks entrusts treasure to Uplander, to give to Mide at next meeting. Even meanest gobbies dare not try to take glowstone from mighty Uplander. Yeah, we're mighty. You can count on us. Roundrocks does not know where Mide is now, but she often gazes out on giant whirlycogs from Broken Rod across. Maybe Uplander finds her there. Glowstone will now be Mide's most favoritist treasure. Uplander might find her near Broken Watercross, looking out over a giant of whirlycogs. Watercross, like a fork in the river or something? Oh, the bridge, gotcha. Watercross. Not all bridges cross water. I guess there could also be like a land cross if it was like a land bridge or something. Whatever. From afar, that mass of steel has a certain majesty, does it not? But something tells me you didn't come here to share the view. What is it? It is a pretty good view of it from here, I guess. Check out this glowy thing. Roundrocks means to give me the codex fragment. I couldn't possibly accept. She values that stone over the rest of her treasures combined. She insists. And yet, it may be safer in the hands of one more capable of defending it. Right, yeah. The Illuminati are after that thing. That's not very safe for a child to hold on to. Safer for all concerned. Gods know the Illuminati will stop at nothing to get it. Very well. If she feels I should have it, I will hold it in safekeeping for her. Alas, it is of no more use to me than any other rock. You doubtless recall the moment when Roundrocks first revealed the codex fragment to us, yes? When she took the stone in her hands, a piece of the Enigma Codex burst forth, unbidden, in a brilliant flash of light. Yet it had been handled many times by others, yourself included, without ever betraying a hint of the secret contained within. Did you not find that strange? I maybe wasn't following that close attention. When she took the stone, the Enigma Codex burst forth. Okay, I guess that's true. I think at the moment, if I recall correctly, what stood out to me was maybe that she maybe just like pressed a button or something, but then it's just a rock, so that wouldn't make sense. I don't know. She's going to explain right now, but I guess what I thought at the time was That nobody just really inspected it too closely or something. I myself was surprised, albeit for a different reason. The Codex is protected by an arcane mechanism, you see. Only those who share its fundamental principles are able to view its contents. It is rare indeed to find an individual with the qualities required to read it. And Roundrock's Athos? That Roundrock's possesses such qualities is an unexpected blessing, to be sure. But if the Illuminati were to learn of her secret, she would be placed in grave danger. Okay, great. So even if we take this thing away from her, she's still going to be hounded by the Illuminati. Well, at least that keeps her relevant to the story, I guess. Even as we speak, they scour the hinterlands in search of their elusive missing piece. But as far as I know, they still view our friend as a mere collector of misplaced items. For her sake, we must do our utmost to draw their attention away from Big West Shortstop, before they take it into their heads to return. And it is for that reason that I mean to leave this place. When the Illuminati learn that I have the fragment, it is my hope that they will focus their efforts on ascertaining my whereabouts. Needless to say, I may not return to Big West Shortstop for a time. While I'm gone, I would ask that you watch over Roundrocks. See that she does not come to harm. We're not here always, but sure, when we're in the area. You have my thanks, adventurer. As I thought. I am no longer worthy. Okay, so she used to be able to open it. Gotcha. Pishkar. Which searches for Uplander with much urgency. Uplander must return to Big West Shortstop at once. Okay. Pishkar. Oh. This isn't what he summoned us for, but it seems like... Well, I'm sure they have it covered. Those goblins. We can hear them in the background. It's kind of concerning. Ishka, is Mide now enjoying treasure too? Many thanks to you, Uplander. There you are, Komoi. Not a moment too soon. The Illuminati are getting ready for something big. I think they're also over there. That is the Illuminati, right? Yeah, seems like it. Well, this is just something small. Wedge says they're getting ready for something big. Ishtrola reports that Alexander has started drawing massive amounts of ether from the surrounding land, which can only mean one thing. The Illuminati have resumed their attempts to revive it. And what's more, Backrix reports that the goblins are amassing substantial quantities of explosives and supplies. It's just quantity, so they're not getting quality explosives and supplies, so we don't have to worry. By all indications, they're building another weapon. In short, it's bad. But it's nothing a bit of strategic thinking can't fix. They say he who strikes first strikes last, and that's exactly what I intend to do. I've devised a plan which should allow us to take the Illuminati unawares, and I'd like you to spearhead the assault. Our rendezvous point is to the south, on the cliffs overlooking the Taliak. Biggs has gone ahead to scout the area. We shall await your arrival there. Looks like they got it handled after all, I think. They got rid of the big one. I think. Well, there's another one. They've got it. Oh, on this side. Thought he meant over on this side. Gomor, good to see you. I take it Wedge told you the situation? You're ready to hit the Illuminati where it hurts? Always. That's what I like to hear. The chief will be here soon, and then we can get things underway. Bloody hells, if it ain't Y'shtola. No one told me you were coming. An etheric disturbance of this scale demands my personal attention. Judging by the marked fall in ambient ether concentrations, the situation is far graver than previously assumed. And you are certain that the seal, and you are certain that's your monstrosities to blame? Oh, has it always been moving like that? I never noticed. I can see no other explanation. The giant's innards are well nigh saturated with ether already, yet I sense something else. An irregular energy coming from within the barrier. Be that as it may, I'm afraid we have more pressing concerns. The Illuminati are up to something, and we mean to hit them before they can put whatever it is they're planning into action. To which end, allow me to introduce my newest and perhaps most astounding invention, the Electrojammer 3, or the Electrojammer the Third, first of its kind. The third, first of its kind. I think Y'shtola's seen one before. She's not impressed. Speechless with astonishment, I see, as well you should be. The high-frequency waves emitted by this device will interfere with any and all enemy communications, making it impossible for them to coordinate an effective defense. With it working in our favor, victory is all but assured. I see. So, assuming I have understood correctly, you need only activate this electrojammer of yours, and the Illuminati will be plunged into disarray, affording Komori and her friends ample opportunity to take them unawares. Very well. Proceed. It's going. It's making noise. Wedge, is this supposed to happen? And thus ended the Warrior of Light's legacy. No, we're fine. Oh, it's supposed to do that. Oh, I don't think they like that. I guess. Bloody hells. Wedge, you turned on its other eye. Wedge, you turned on its other arm. It's waking up. It looks very angry. Alright, there's the thumbnail. Although I'm probably gonna have to do my tricks to get it at a different time of day, just so it looks better. I mean, it looks fine at night, but probably the lighting on Alexander during the daytime is a bit more impressive than the nighttime version. Although the nighttime version with the glowing eyes, well, we'll see. You've woken it up. Nay, Only the left arm stirs. Could the waves emitted by your device have disturbed something within the barrier wedge? It's not my fault. Not to worry, Wedge. Was the Illuminati hard at work reviving the giant? It was only a matter of time before parts of it started springing to life. You just gave this one a little extra nudge. On a brighter note, it would seem you saved us the trouble of finding another way in. Komori, old friend, it's time for your customary heroics. The Illuminati are likely still scrambling to work out what just happened. Before they do, I suggest you hop across the river and show them what for. Yeah, show them what for, Komori. I must needs discuss these developments with Master Matoya. Sid, would you be so good as to accompany me? Your insight may well prove useful. And actually, how is it with Master Matoya, with this huge robot outside her doorstep? Must be very annoying for her. I guess the Illuminati probably don't bother her. Maybe? They're all about like secrets and knowledge, right? Wouldn't they want her secrets and knowledge? I'm sure she can take care of herself, but... with this huge eyesore outside, she probably doesn't like it, right? I call it an eyesore, but I like it. Maybe that's the thumbnail, actually. This is... maybe better? Pishkar, another core stirs to life. The future unfolds exactly as expected. Exactly as written. Okay, I guess they're not scrambling. They knew what was going to happen, apparently. Yep. Alexander sure looks awake. Very alert. So the fun thing about this is that with each tier of the raid, Alexander kind of lurches forward a little bit more or something. But of course they can't change the game world, so they're just doing their usual tricks, where they're just replacing existing geometry with parts of Alexander, the hands I guess. So this hand and that hand over there, just before this cutscene, it was just a rock right over here outside of the barrier, and now it's just Alexander's hand which crushed the rock, but it's the same shape as the rock. Just a little bit behind the scenes, but it's interesting how they're able to, I guess, plan ahead for this sort of thing and work with their own limitations to change the game world as your quest progresses, without changing it for everyone else. Pishkar, Uplander feels shivery shakes. Arm of steel giant is wide open, and no Illuminati in sight. We got the Fist of the Sun. Last time it was the father hand, now it's the son hand, I guess. And now... we wait. 7 minutes, apparently. Would have expected it to be longer, but it is the weekend. Even if it is, like, real-time, nighttime. I guess on the weekend people are still in the duty finder. So I guess Komori is just going to wait 7 minutes. Or more. The Fist of the Sun. Just like with the other raid tier, this round is all about storming the castle through the other arm, so a lot of the layout's going to be similar, but not exactly the same. And of course the bosses are all going to be different. It's kind of a fun change. I think in the previous raid, like the first battle of the first raid series, the Fist of the Father or whatever. Pretty sure that part was... how to describe it, flat on the ground, whereas this way it was sideways, and you rode the vents up like climbing up the floor, like it was a wall. Not sure if I described that accurately. Whatever. That's gonna blow up. Hummerfrost. Is that a new Frost? I think it is. I believe that guy does like a cleave, so I think we're just outside of its conal. The frontal cleave. Seems like the tanks know what they're doing. I think they're sharing the cleaves. That's good. Don't know if we need that level of execution. Well, actually, no. We might need that level of execution for this boss. Even on normal mode, it's kind of mechanic-y. I'm sure some people will know what they're doing. Even if they don't, I'll try to use my own knowledge to help out. This guy's actually kind of a noob killer. Oh, they're starting. Kinda missed what he said. Great, I can't ride in. Just pretend I rode in and got the huge ramp up or something. Yeah, we kind of missed his big transformation. That's kind of a shame. And then he transforms back. So this is this guy's mechanic. He puts down bombs, and someone has to deal with it as a monkey. By stepping into one of these pools. Someone already did it, so I'm not going to do it myself. It's a rather big explosion, so this might not even be... I guess we're fine. And then for this boosting, you just have to become a bird to avoid the ground damage. Seems like everyone knows what they're doing. If you look at the tanks next to the tank's health bars, you'll see that they have some debuffs, so the whole tank swapping thing is kind of important to do in this case. Guess we'll focus on this guy. I guess I could become a monkey just to... never mind. Lost our chance. How did I use my heat? Is there no longer a timer on heat? Alright, great. Should I? No. I think it's mainly just useless materials that you trade in for items. I don't want to have to go through all that. Now, before we do all that though, I'm just gonna do this quickly. It's a good thing I have this, level 80 whatever. Just going to turn on unrestricted party and this. There. Join. Oh, right, gotta select it again. Right, so we're just going to breeze through this real quickly so I can see the thing that I missed, I guess, just to get it on camera. If I were better about this, maybe I would have, like, spliced it into the existing video, like just before we got the boss. I would. After this episode, I would record something, then cut up that footage, and then put it right before we fought the boss so that it would be kind of a seamless thing. But we're just doing it right now. I'm doing this because I kind of regretted not recording some of the stuff that we also skipped during the first round of raids against Alexander. There was an entire phase that we skipped on the water guy, which I kind of wanted to get at some point, but never actually ended up doing. So just so I don't have any more regrets, I'm doing this right now. Kind of a waste of time, but usually, well, what happened last time, I was able to do 2 raid tiers in one episode and then another raid tier, or they're not tiers, they're, what are these called? Oh, not that. I can't see it right now. I was able to do 2 raid bosses in one episode and then another 2 raid bosses in the other episode. But then I still had some extra time, so I can spend some of this time just doing things like this. Seeing the things that I happen to miss in a larger party, maybe mechanics if we skip them, or big entrances like this, or a boss's big transformation, like this. There. That's what I wanted to see, what we unfortunately missed. His name is Ratfink's Twinkledinks, and you enter the boss fight where he's, well, looking like a tiny little goblin as usual, as they all do. Then he becomes this. Anyway, we're done here. We saw everything else. I just like that moment where you look at Ratfink's Twinkledinks, the boss of the first round of bosses or whatever. First round of... what are these called? I can't recall them off the top of my head, but anyway, the first boss of this tier, and you think that he's just a little guy, and then he becomes that huge thing, and it's crazy. And not only that, his mechanics are actually, like I said, they're kind of noob killers if you don't have a team that know what they're doing, or at least a few people that are doing things right. Because you will die to boost if you don't become a bird, and you will die to the bomb if no one pushes it away from the rest of the party, because their explosion radius is huge. I kind of missed out on seeing all of that because everybody was super efficient and a little bit too gung-ho about starting the boss before I finished the cutscene. But that's what this extra time in the episode is for, I guess, for seeing things like that. Anyway. I gather you brought the Illuminati schemes to a shuddering halt, just as I planned. Unfortunately, a small complication arose while you were gone, but, Pix wanted to be the one to tell you. Sure, he does have the icon above his head. Well done, lass. You left those Illuminati smarting, and without so much as a scratch to show for it. Can't really remember what kind of voice I did for Biggs, or Sid for that matter. It's always hard to remember. It's not like I have to be consistent with the voices, or rather, I'd like to be consistent if I can, but who cares? I'm sure you'd like to finish them off, and we would too, if truth be told. But I'm sorry to say we have a problem. While Wedge and I were out on patrol, we saw something, you see. A meeting. Between Mide and the enemy. Oh, okay. And then she handed the codex fragment over, just like that. The way she sauntered back into Alexander with the Illuminati, you'd think this was their plan all along. But how could they have known that Roundrox would give the thing to Mide? It certainly looks that way, aye. but we can't rule out the possibility of coercion, considering the parties involved. Oh, and here they come, as if to answer our question. Pishkaw, foolish uplanders, Treasure Hunter was happy to give Codex. And why not? She makes busy deals with Illuminati since the very beginning. And now Illuminati hold all fragments of the Enigma Codex. Treasure Hunter betrays Uplander's trust, and forfeits their treasure, or their future, in so doing. What a load of old bollocks. How daft does he think we are? Now, pigs. If the Grand Master of the Illuminati said it, it must be true. Pishkaw, everything is as written, as it must be. If Illuminati are to guide chosen to perfect world, not one piece can be out of place. With this, another page becomes reality. When Illuminati find missing piece, the prophecy will be fulfilled. He knows. Or does he? Goodness me, that goblin hasn't the faintest idea how Uplanders' minds work. I would have been prepared to believe that Mide was a traitor had he not bothered to come here and confirm it. Now I'm inclined to think she isn't. Pishkaw, there may be truth to what Quickthink says. Backwick scours over data, looking for knowings of what happened 3 years ago. Backwick finds mention of group of Auri treasure hunters. 3 years ago, group went to investigate ruins near Daliak River, only to perish in sudden shivery shakes. 3 years ago, you say? That wouldn't be the earthquake that accompanied the failed summoning of the Primal, would it? Bugger me. Are you saying it was the treasure hunters doing the summoning? And that Mide was one of them? Now hold on a moment. I'm willing to accept that Mide may have been a member of this doomed expedition, she being an Auri treasure hunter and all, but I fail to see what interest such a group would have in the ideals of the Enigma Codex, let alone summoning a Primal. Pishkaw, such was question Backwick asked himself, so he spends much time gathering knowings, and finds answer in book lent to him by Charlie Uplander. Genius technologist who writes Enigma Codex 100 years ago is Auri Zayla, with blue hair, exactly like Mide. Everyone has blue hair. A lot of people do. It's a coincidence. Pishkaw, no. Mide would never make busy deals with bad copies. Roundrock searches for Mide. Hears truth from her. Roundrocks, wait. He said 100 years ago, right? Implying like it's in an ancestor, or what? Pishkaw, Uplander trusts treasure hunter too readily. Be wary of her. Perhaps Uplander wants to look more closely at data. No. This guy just holds the records for everything you're doing in the raid if you need a recap. We don't need that. I have videos for that. If you're worried about Roundrocks, don't be. Which won't let her come to any harm. Truth be told, I'm more worried about this business with Mide. Still, we should be careful of making any rash decisions, as you can bet that's what the Illuminati want. For now, I reckon we should give her the benefit of the doubt. Innocent till proven guilty and all that. And anyway, we've got more pressing matters to deal with. Namely taking back that codex fragment, and pushing on into Alexander before the Illuminati have a chance to shore up their defenses. You ready for another round? Is that what they're called? Are they called rounds, each like turn? I think they were called turns in Bahamut, like each time you entered a duty and fought a boss that was called a turn. I don't know if turn is like the generic term for every level, every time you go in and fight a boss for every tier of raid. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. I'll just call them something different every time. Good. The sooner you get going, the better, I reckon. Oh, and when you're in the belly of the beast, be sure and break something for me, eh? And now we got the cough. That was instant. I guess someone else was queuing up for it. Well, Komori doesn't have to wait. Oh wait, oops. No. No, we're still doing this unsynced, my bad. No, don't look. This isn't actually happening. If I were better about this, I probably would have, How do I do this? Here. If I were better about this, I would cut this out and just, like, not include this little fumble, but I'm not going to bother with all of that editing work. We're just going to leave that in. While I do this, and there we are. Okay, so Komori is going to wait 7 minutes again. For real. Cough of the Sun. That was way longer than 7 minutes. Turns out, weekend around nighttime, not a great time for the duty finder. Not as much as I'd hoped anyway. I think on the other hand, this one was a... Well, if this architecture is anything to go by. The last time we did this on the other arm, it was a sort of huge amount of ants that we fought as a boss. It's not going to be that this time, but just thinking about the symmetry of this raid from the perspective of the other arm. I guess the bosses aren't necessarily going to be symmetric, just mainly the architecture is going to be kind of similar. Well, this looks completely new, so never mind. Okay. Maybe there is some kind of symmetry here. It's not fighting a bunch of ants, but it is fighting a bunch of guys. This boss is actually 4 bosses. First up is Blaster. Apparently. It just kind of puts down a bunch of mines, I guess. And these stack markers. Don't want to overlap them, I guess. Well, not stack markers, they're just markers in general. And don't be where they're facing. They'll charge like that. Unfortunately, that put me outside of the range to hit the boss. One down, 3 to go. Next is Brawler. I don't remember a lot of these mechanics. I know that one kind of targets the tank, and of course there's a debuff on the tank, so also important to tank swap here if you can. I think you have to look at this guy's arms to know what he's doing. Oh, he shot a drill at me. He chose me for some reason. This one's like 2 cannons, I guess. Okay, that one I think was supposed to be a stack. Like, the tank stacked with all of us. Not the usual stack marker that shows up. You're just supposed to know that it's a stack. And this one's one cannon, so I think that one's just like a tank buster. But yeah, tanks will die here if we don't do this right. Oh, it seems like we got 2 Rems as a tank. The tank and the Octank. Rem Enoshima and Rem Ymir. Interesting. Well, if one tank dies and the other tank picks up aggro, I guess that's also technically a tank swap. It works out. Oh, this one? Yeah, the floor. I know this one. We are high arithmetic, so we have to be low. We're good. Did I do that wrong? I think I... Damn. Didn't activate my wildfire in time. Got that backwards. Well, I don't have any of the orange debuff markers on me, so I guess I'm doing good like so far. Oh, we got 3 Rems, is it? Who's our 3rd Rem? I guess we got Remy. Nope, I'm high now. Oops. Great, now I've got a stack marker. The only one left without one is Liliana. Now we've got Vortexer. Didn't call out the name for the last one, whichever that one was. Whatever. It was on screen. It doesn't matter. This one I do remember because I wiped its mechanic before. I'll just keep an eye out. If we get marked or whoever else gets marked other than us. Although we might end up skipping the phase or whatever. Alright, there's Cyclone. That's a knockback. I didn't put up my arm sense in time. Not that it matters. I guess it's just designed to actually put you into one of those puddles or something. Oh, and there goes the tank again. Yep, that's why you got a tank spawn. And here, we don't have the marker, but at least someone is going to freeze this. Or no. Seems like... no, we got it, okay. You don't have to get behind this for the Cyclone, but for the next attack. Or one of them. We might actually skip its big wiping attack. Nope, there it is, Ultra Flash. Get behind this. So yeah, if your DPS isn't fast enough, you need this ice block, which only appears if you put the ice over the Cyclone. Seems like the tank didn't know that. But we got it anyway. And you can still kind of brute force your way through these boss battles with tanks dying if you just revive them, I guess. Oh. And there we go. 4 bosses done in 1 episode. I guess 5 bosses technically. Damn. They opened the chest and then left before I could even commend anybody. Which means I've got all this trash I gotta get rid of. I don't feel like trading them in for the armor, and then turning in the armor for company seals. Just a little bit too much middleman work. Alright, that's all I plan to do for levels. I think they might be called floors. Like the generic term for each of these raids. Because in A Realm Reborn they're called turns, pretty clearly. But I guess like the generic term for any MMO, I guess, would just be like a floor for each raid or something. Anyway, that's it for this floor, or rather for this. That's all the floors for this episode is all I'm trying to say. We do 2 this episode, then 2 in the next. Hopefully the remaining time will be taken up by cutscenes, we'll see. Ah, Komoy. You haven't seen Round Rocks, have you? I was looking forward to hearing about the new treasures she's found. You're kind of under suspicion. I see. Well, I will not lie to you. Some of it is true. I did meet with the Illuminati, but that is not the whole story. Allow me to explain. You're saying you handed over the Codex fragment to stop the Illuminati from coming here and taking it? Yes, but the fragment I handed over to them was not but a stone picked from a pile of rubble. The true Codex fragment is here, safe and sound. How do we know that's not a rock? I guess he believes it. Well, no reason to doubt her, right? I bloody knew Quick Things was lying. The way he told it, you'd been working with the Illuminati all along. Load of old bilge, a lot of it. I am afraid not. Quick Things told you true. In fact, it was I who first taught the goblins how to summon the primal. I meant only to use them for my own ends, of course. Much as I did you. The author of the Enigma Codex was an ancestor of mine. The creation of the so-called perfect world, proposed within it, has long been the goal of certain members of our tribe, myself included. For years we strove in secret to realize its high ideals. Free of the twisted elitism, which seems to have infected the Illuminati. During that time, there was one who served as our leader, a man who made us believe that our perfect world was in reach, a man with whom I fell in love. I wish nothing more than to see his dreams come to fruition. The cone, behold. So blind was my devotion, I agreed to help him summon a primal, without a second thought. The danger to our lives never even crossed my mind. But on that day 3 years ago, I came to know the folly of our mission. In an instant, the infernal machine laid waste to our hopes, snuffing out the lives of my companions, and the man I loved was dragged into its core. In a last desperate attempt to make right our mistake, I called forth a barrier with which to seal as Alexander. At that moment, however, the Codex shattered, and the Colossus vanished without a trace. Okay, here. This is what I've been forgetting this entire time, where this barrier came from, because before the raid even begins, it's just kind of a landmark that populates the area. You don't know why it's there, and nobody really points it out, unless maybe like talk to some NPCs and they talk about it before this raid series, but it feels like it was just kind of this one loose end in my mind that I couldn't really figure out why it made sense it was there before you started the raid series, but now we know the reason it was created, and I guess since it was 3 years ago, most of the people already left Charlian. The only people that took up residence in Idleshire were the goblins and the other treasure hunters or whoever populates that place. So I guess they're not the kind of people that would go about and say, I wonder what that is. Maybe it's all just kind of a big mystery to them. Like the rest of the things around here, or something. Anyway, that's the barrier. I'll try not to forget this time. When the dust settled, I found myself surrounded by the broken fragments of the Codex. The cold, accursed remnants of our dream, of a perfect world. So I guess the codex was at that cone. Interesting. That's also something I forgot from, well, during my playthrough on my main character. And of course I also saw this in the playthrough of the YouTuber that got me into Final Fantasy in the first place, so this would be the third time that I'm watching this cutscene, but I guess after everything that happens, I still kind of forget these things. Whatever. I'll remember it this time, until I forget again. And that's when Roundrox found it. Funny she didn't notice the Ori girl that was, like, in the vicinity. We were forced to think only of the future. I did not realize it until my friends were gone. By the time we spent on our journey together, pursuing a shared dream, those moments were as precious as any paradise we could have hoped to build. Well, I guess Roundrox didn't necessarily have to be, like, right behind Mide here during that flashback. I guess it was just for the benefit of the viewer to know that's when Roundrox picked it up, or around the same time. Like creative liberties or whatever, with the flashback. It's a sad old tale, I'll give you that, but it doesn't explain why you had the Illuminati summon the Primal, or why you had us help you infiltrate it. After everything you've been through, you can't seriously think any good will come of reviving Alexander. You all but said as much yourself. Good has nothing to do with it. Understand, I did not act out of any lingering adherence to my old ideals. I simply wanted to see him again. And perhaps walk to the ends of the world with him. Him? Pishka, Mide cannot mean Alexander. Not Alexander itself, but the soul I believe still resides within. The ghost in the machine, I guess. Soul of Uplander sleeps in giant machine? Never has Backrix heard such unsense. Mide must abandon this. No, it's not the time. I've got one more question to ask you. What happens when all the codex fragments are brought together? Alexander was born from the hearts that yearned for a perfect world. The writings of the Enigma Codex inspired such a desire, but they are more than just a collection of texts. The Codex can also be used to control the Primal. To be precise, 2 elements are required: a complete Enigma Codex, and one capable of reading it. When both are present, Alexander can be commanded to transport its residents wherever they choose. Okay, the full picture is starting to come into focus, I guess. Though some of the actions of the Illuminati, I guess, are still a mystery. I myself was once able to read the Codex, but those days are long gone. Now the fragments are as dead to me as the stones beneath my feet. There is another, however, to whom the Codex still responds. One we all know quite well. What? Roundrox? Are you saying that little girl is the key to controlling a bleeding Primal? Round rocks. Okay, I think Big said that you wouldn't let her get into trouble. Apparently he was wrong. Round rocks has been captured. And it's raining. Well, I'm glad they changed the weather for that cutscene. It would have been awkward in the rain. I mean, it was like a sad flashback and all that. But, I don't know. Feels like we wouldn't see the sadness on her face if all of the raindrops were, like, dropping down on her, obscuring the view. That's not how the graphics in this game works, but just the aesthetic of the rain, I don't know. It feels like it gets in the way of emotional scenes. Depending on the scene, I guess. I feel like rain is more suitable for, I don't know, sure, sad scenes, but also like more dire situations or something like that. That one was more of a calm moment, I guess. A calm, sad moment. This is more stormy and calm. Anyway, we do now have a dire situation on our hands. It's all my fault. I only lost sight of Round Rocks for a moment. But by the time I spied her again, the Illuminati had her surrounded. Ah, can't I do anything right? If I hurt her, I shall never forgive myself. Please, Komori, please bring her back safely. Okay. Tale old as time, eh? Woman falls in love with man, man gets sucked into Primal. Woman tries summoning Primal to be reunited with man. Note of old rod, if you ask me, but Mide seems to believe it. We're all in agreement on one thing, though. An innocent child's at the mercy of the Illuminati. And it's our job to rescue her. That first part of that line, the whole falls in love with a man, gets sucked into a primal thing, that's why I talk to these people when they're not the ones progressing the quest. For little gems like that. A little flavor. Should we accept this right now? I guess we could just save this for next time. We're right at the end of the episode, and also it might be better to begin the episode with the quest rather than taking the quest right now, then stopping the episode. No, wait, hang on. Well, I could take the quest right now, and then we unlock the next floor of the raid, and then I could start the next episode without having to like begin the episode and then pausing the episode to fade to black while we wait. Okay. Well, will this go on long? We'll just do it. Curse me for a fool. I should have known better than to underestimate the Illuminati. I assumed the missing piece in their plan was the Codex fragment, but they were talking about Round Rocks all along. I thought that's what we were implying when we were talking over on the bridge, but maybe we only just figured that out. Okay. We must mount a rescue. Now, without delay. To the Illuminati, she's no better than a cog, to the Illuminati, she's no better than a cog in that monstrous machine. It is like that she is being held somewhere in or close to Alexander's upper body. Continue your push through the left arm. While the Illuminati are distracted, I will search for a way forward. And that's the next tier unlocked? The next floor. Okay, good. Alright, so now that we did that, we can actually begin the next episode inside the arm. Usually I begin and end the episode, like, in the same location, the same physical location, or at least close to it, as the last episode ended. But I guess this time we can just end on the outside of the arm right here, and then begin the episode after the wait time for our duty roulette ends. Yeah, that'll be a bit more of an elegant solution, rather than fading to black at the very start of the episode. So I guess this time we're ending off the episode with Komori waiting for more adventurers to storm the castle yet again. While she does that, now would be a good time to take a break.